Hello, welcome to Swords, Relics, RPGs, and more. So, for this first episode, I kind of want to just get into the basics of what you might want to think about doing if you're just starting in the tabletop gaming. So, really, if you want to just start out with Dungeons & Dragons, on their website, they have for free the rules of 5th edition, which is the latest edition right now. They'll probably be having another one coming out soon because 5th edition's been out for, I don't know, almost 5 years now. So yeah, they're probably cooking up another one soon. But yes, so online, you can print it out for free. But it's actually 100 pages, not just this, so it looks more like this. So it's, I know it says basic rules, and then there's also 100 pages, but that's really just to kind of cover all the ground for free with the basics. Because when you actually start getting more into it and you want to start spending some money, you know, you'll need the core 3 books of the Player's Handbook, Dungeon Master's Guide, and the Monster Manual. Really, if you're a player though, you really only need the Player's Handbook. If you're a Dungeon Master, you're going to win all 3. And so yeah, that's kind of a hefty I need more coffee. It's kind of a hefty price for all 3, but if you're really serious about wanting to like be a Dungeon Master, they are really helpful. Now, if you're really hesitant about spending money on those 3 books, the starter book or the starter box, starter kit, whatever it's called, that's the perfect way to get your feet wet because it's only like, I don't know, 20-30 bucks. Comes with an adventure, comes with the rules, and it comes with a set of dice, and I think it comes with a map maybe. But yeah, that's a nice way to kind of get your feet wet and see what it's all like. Now, you're also gonna want some dice. So really, I think it's more from a player perspective of, you know, being like, you can never have enough dice. But since I'm usually the Dungeon Master, I don't get the fascination, but I do like collecting them because I think they look cool. that's about all I got for you, because yeah, being the Dungeon Master, it comes with a much different power with dice. Because if you're one of those people that, you know, you have a Dungeon Master screen and they can't see what you're rolling, you can fudge the dice if you want to. But that's really more at your discretion, and in my opinion, that's kind of cheating. Because if the players see you roll your dice, then they'll feel more honest, like, you know, it's like, oh man, you totally missed me with that goblin, haha. And there'll be more of that, I don't know, I think it'll be a little bit better for the game overall. But yeah, so primarily, you'll be doing everything with this, a 20-sided die. This is a D20 system, and that's kind of how the more recent systems are being run. There's a few other games out there, if you kind of want to try some newer things or things that are less popular, that simply almost use just a D6. Now, if it's like something crazy like Shadowrun, you'll be using like, you know, 50 D6. But I think that's a tale for another time. So anyway, yeah, each dice kind of has its own assignment for weapons. The D20 is really just for like probability as to whether or not you succeed in something. And yeah, really, I think different people have different preferences with it, but it's all dice. And another thing that you'll want is a notebook. This is going to be your best friend in this type of scenarios, because you're going to keep all of your notes, all of your ideas, all of your you know, whatever items you get, whatever goblins you kill, right here. Especially if you're a dungeon master, because if you're if you're trying to just like cook up something, or you can't think of anything, just have it all in one spot. And kind of going back to the whole dungeon master screen thing, I've gone back and forth with having a screen, and I have found that I like playing without a screen. And I say that because one, I can see the players better. Two, it doesn't feel like there's a wall between us. Like, we're all sitting at the table together. It's not just like, so, what did you do next? I don't know. That's just my personal preference, though. But yeah, like, drawing, writing, everything. Right there. All in one spot. If you're like me, though, sometimes you kind of get crazy with loose paper, and you're just writing ideas, whatever you can grab a hold of. But just be sure that you collect all those and put it in one spot. You'll be thanking yourself later. Also, if like, you know, you're a player, and you like to be artistic or creative, or you're a dungeon master and you want to design some stuff, you will need a good set of pens, because, oh my god, I've played around with a few different sets, but I love the Micron set. Amazing. One more thing though, on those stuff, graph paper. And there's any good ones in here? Yeah. So, it's really good for, in my opinion, like, kind of pre-setting up combat scenarios, or just different villages, and I'm just kind of playing around with different ideas as a dungeon master. And really, it's such a handy tool, and it's so cheap. You can't go wrong with it. And one last thing that I kind of made for my players is, because we have a few new players at our table, I kind of made them a cheat sheet. This has the skill checks, all the list of skills, and then at the very bottom I kind of gave them some narrative choices, because I'm trying to kind of get them to see that RPGs are a role-playing game, and it's a lot more fun when you kind of explore all the facets of, you know, what this game can be. So yeah, this kind of looks like we have skills, list of skills, and then down here, narrative choices. I don't know if you can see that. We've got intimidate, persuasion, and perception. And so yeah, there will be moments when you need to push the conversation forward. Intimidation, persuasion, and perception will be used most often in narrative skill checks. Try these out for different scenarios. Intimidate, strike fear at them. Persuasion, reason them to see it your way. Perception, see if they're being honest and read their body language. So yeah, that's kind of like whenever it comes to their turn at the table, I'm like, so what do you want to do? They're like, they have a cheat sheet to look at. So yeah, I guess if you're just starting out, really the only thing you need to do is go buy a set of dice, or if you're like, it's like Wednesday or Thursday and it's right before payday, you can really just do something like, you know, go by the dollar store and buy some D6 dice, or if it's even worse than that, flip a coin, heads you win, tails you lose. But no, in all seriousness, it really doesn't take that much to get started, and I think the important thing is just getting started overall, because it's a really great game, and really all tabletop games are great in their own way. But yeah, kind of just based back onto getting started, I started with video games rather than tabletop games, and I kind of am taking what I know from that and feeding into this, because I've been playing video games for almost 30 years, but I've only been playing tabletop gaming for like, I don't know, 5 years. But all that knowledge is just I can dump into it, because when I'm a dungeon master and they're like, what do I see around the corner, I could just be like, you see a treasure chest, but it looks strange. And like it's something like a mimic, but they probably already know that because I haven't sprung a mimic on them yet. Oh, but I will. I hope y'all had fun, and I hope this was informative. If you liked the video, please like. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe. Thank you, and until next time, stay adventurous. Bye.